Hello, welcome or welcome back to Shaping Your World with Sha. I'm Sha, and on this channel I talk about lifestyle related topics as they relate to the woman over 40, 50, and beyond. I'm usually talking about fragrance, which will be the case today. I do believe my next video will be more beauty oriented, but today we're talking about what I wore last week, fragrance edition. So jumping right in, as always, I have my notes here, so please forgive me if I look down. I want to start off with some samples that I've been playing around with. I've been talking lately about this Vivamor Discovery Set that I purchased from Vivamor Parfums. It looks like this. I have these two samples out. That's why those slots are open, but it comes with a little card that gives you the description of the fragrances, which I love very much. And it also comes with a coupon to purchase a full-size bottle. So the two fragrances that I'm currently playing with are Choco Exclusif and Vanilla Vice. And this is the little boxes that they come in. So this is what the bottles look like. And these are 2 ml samples. The Discovery Set, I'm not sure, I don't remember the price. I'll link the price of the Discovery Set down in the description box. But I've been playing with these samples lately, so you have heard me talk about these Vivamor Parfums quite a bit lately. So on Monday, I wore Choco Exclusif. The top notes are Sicilian Blood Orange and Calabrian Bergamot. In the mid, we've got Dark Chocolate and African Coffee Absolute. And down in the base, it dries down to Pancakes Accord, Maple Syrup, and Madagascar Vanilla. And that's really what sparked my interest with this fragrance. It was that dry down in the base. I was really curious to see what that Pancakes Accord and Maple Syrup would give. And I would have to say that I don't know that my nose really picks them up. I will just start off with saying this fragrance goes a little weird on my skin. So it's hard for me to really say what my nose picks up because on my skin, I don't like the fragrance very much. And I've been trying to kind of play around with it, wear it in different temperatures, also apply it at different times a day to see if maybe it will mix differently with my body chemistry. And in the couple of times that I've worn it, I will say it does last pretty well. However, the notes just don't play very well on my skin. So it's really hard for me. I don't pick up the dark chocolate or the African Coffee Absolute. I think the biggest notes that I pick up are the pancake and the maple, but the way they're blending on my skin, I'm not a big fan of them. So for that reason, I think I'm done playing with it. So on Tuesday, I played around with Vanilla Vice. Now, Vanilla Vice is another fragrance from this collection that at first sniff, I wasn't that crazy about, so I wanted to continue to play with it to see if maybe over time it would get a little better. And I will say that over time, I've worn it maybe 3 times now. I liked it. I started liking it the 3rd time that I wore it. So the top notes are Cognac Absolute and Almond. In the mid, it's got Heliotrope, Suede, and Incense. And in the base, it dries down to Brazilian tonka bean, Madagascar vanilla, and ambergris. And I will say that on my skin, I've talked about this numerous times before. Almond or most nuts can go a little weird on my skin. I would say that this doesn't go that bad on my skin, but what I'm not a big fan of are the suede and the incense. They're very pronounced to my nose, and they kind of take the fragrance in a direction that I don't particularly care for me personally, for my own personal preference. But I would say that overall, it is a pretty nice fragrance. And I can say that even though it doesn't smell the best on me, I still can see where it's a really nice fragrance, and I can appreciate those notes and how they are blended together. And I'm gonna keep playing to see if maybe it gets better over time on my skin. Particularly that, I think with time, the Cognac Absolute, I think that's going to kind of develop over time. And in this fragrance, maybe if I let it sit, let's say I revisit it in the fall and it has time to kind of sit and blend more, the notes get to come to play together some more, I might appreciate it a little more come fall. So we'll table that for now. So moving on to Wednesday, I wore a fragrance that I already know I love. It's one of my favorite fragrances in my collection, and that's Angel Nova by Mugler. I love the bottle, but more so than that, I love this fragrance on me. It starts off in the top, it's got raspberry and lychee. In the mid, it's got damask rose, and then in the base, it dries down to akigala wood and benzoin. And I looked up akigala wood, and it said that it's a profile similar to patchouli combined with pepper and agar wood, and then benzoin said that it was a sweet and vanilla-esque fragrance. So I really like this. I had a lovely new subscriber let me know that they love rose. And as I responded to that comment to say, I'll share with you that I'm also really getting into the roses. There was a time where I didn't really like rose, but I'm finding that more and more I'm gravitating towards rose fragrances. You guys know I love Choco Exclusif. It's got a prominent rose note, and this too has a very prominent nose note. And combined with the lychee and the raspberry, I really love this. I love this a lot. It's one of my favorite fragrances, and I wore this on Wednesday. So then on Thursday, I wore a sample, one of my samples from Scentbird, and this is Ex Nihilo. And please let me know if I'm saying that right. I'm not sure if Ex Nihilo is the correct pronunciation, but this fragrance is the Hedonist. It was one of my Scentbird samples for this month. If you're not familiar with Scentbird, they have these cases that you put the fragrance in. They don't come with the case though. The funny thing is, the subscription, you just get the fragrance, and you can just pop it in. I wore this on Thursday, and the top notes are bergamot and ginger. In the mid, we've got cedarwood and akigala wood. And in the base, it dries down to vetiver, musks, and tonka bean. And I really enjoy this. This is a nice, sophisticated, almost sexy, mature fragrance. And by mature, I just mean sophisticated and sexy, not like mature meaning elderly or or you know, none of those negative connotations that are sometimes attributed to mature, but just mature in the sense that it's not juvenile, it's not youthful. It's a really well done. The bergamot and ginger with the cedarwood and the musk and the akigala wood, I mean, my nose can pick up all of the notes, but even though I can distinguish all of the notes, they are very well blended together. They come together in I mean, I can't even just emphasize enough how sophisticated this fragrance is. It's got a real nice depth, and it sits very nicely on the skin, but it's also, I would say, good for colder weather or going out in the wind, because the wind just really picks it up and carries it very nicely. And also with cooler temps, you're gonna really enjoy it a little bit more, in my opinion. I think that once the temperatures really heat up, this is gonna be too heavy. I personally am gonna probably put this away within the coming weeks and save it to bring it out again in the winter time, because I think it'll just be a little too heavy for warmer temperatures. So moving right on to Friday. On Friday, I wore Moscow Mule by Juliet Has a Gun. And the top notes are bergamot, ginger, and lime. In the mid, we have apple, jasmine, and in the base, it drives down ambrotolide and ambroxan. And I had never heard of ambrotolide. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But when I looked it up, it said that it's a musky scent. And ambroxan is also a musky scent, often ascribed as being skin-like. So that dry down, you know, you've got that nice vibrant bergamot, ginger, and lime in the beginning, in the opening, and you can tell that on Thursday I wore the Hedonist with that, also opened up with the bergamot and ginger, and then on Friday I was still in that nice bergamot ginger mood, and I just added on with the lime and the jasmine and the musk in the base. I mean, this is a really nice fragrance, and I would say they're probably they're very similar. They definitely have very similar notes, but I think that they go in different directions in the sense that Moscow Mule is definitely more boozy. So if you've been following my channel for any length of time, you know I'm a fan of boozy fragrances. And this is a great fragrance in the sense that it's lighter than traditional boozy fragrances, which generally are your cognacs and even your whiskeys. I have a fragrance called Whiskey that I'm not sure if I've ever talked about on this channel or not, but I have a fragrance called Whiskey by Commodity. I'm just a lover of boozy fragrances, and this is a great boozy fragrance that's not only boozy, but it's also light and fresh. It's got that bergamot, ginger, and lime just really give it a nice brightness. You still have the depth and the warmth of the booziness, but they don't go too deep. They don't go too warm. They stay light and airy and fresh because of the presence of that bergamot, ginger, and lime. And also, I didn't even realize, I don't pick up the apple. My nose doesn't pick up the apple, but I can tell now that I know that there's apple in the mid. That's what's giving it that nice crispness. Just think of a nice crisp apple, like a crisp green apple that that first bite into a freshly picked green apple, when it just gives that crunch, and that burst. That's what I'm getting to my nose. This is a fragrance I really love. I don't hear a lot of people talk about this, but this is Moscow Mule by Juliet Hazagan. And if you like a nice fresh a fragrance that starts off nice and fresh and light and airy, but then just kind of just develops as it dries down and gets really musky, almost sensual. It's a beautiful fragrance. Not sensual in the sense that, you know, it can only be worn at nighttime, but sensual in the sense that it comes down real nice and full-bodied. I really love this fragrance. And so that was my scent of the day on Friday. So on Saturday, I wore one of my favorites, Amorous Intense by Navitus Perfumes. And this is another fragrance that I had received as part of a discovery set, as part of Navitus Perfumes Discovery Set. I played around with it for a good while before pulling the trigger to purchase this full size. I love this fragrance. This is your, oh my goodness. So the top, let me read the notes, because this is, right now, this is one of my most worn and favorite fragrances in this moment. This is the only fragrance currently giving Delina Exclusif a run for its money in my collection in this very moment in time. But when I tell you, it's been so hard to not wear this and Delina Exclusif on a daily basis. I love this. So the top notes are baked pear, pear pulp, almonds, and applesauce. In the mid, we have rum absolute, ylang ylang, and French coffee. And in the base, it dries down to cinnamon, caramel, whipped cream, and cane sugar. And I can tell you, I'm so excited by the fact that even though there's an almond note in the top of this fragrance, no, I don't pick it up with my nose, and it doesn't go weird on my skin. I love this fragrance. It's so hard to describe because it's got a lot of pear and it's got applesauce. So it would sound like something, I don't know. It seems like it would maybe remind you of a candy or a snack or something like this. And I would say in the opening, it kind of gives me the apple flavored Jolly Rancher. It kind of reminds me of that in the opening. Or do they have a pair? Maybe they had a pair. I'm not even sure. I don't remember. But it reminds me of the green, whatever flavor the green Jolly Rancher was back in the day. It kind of opens up with that. But as it dries down, oh my goodness. I mean, that rum absolute, that ylang, that caramel and whipped cream, oh my goodness. And then rounding out with the cane sugar. I mean, it's sweet, sweet, but it's not like, it's not overwhelmingly sweet. And that sounds kind of contradictory because it literally dries down to cane sugar. But that cane sugar blending with the French coffee and the cinnamon and the rum absolute, when I tell you I love this fragrance so much, I could wear this every day. I'm not a signature scent kind of person. Just over the years, when I was young, I was very big on signature scents. No longer a signature scent type of person because I really like to wear different fragrances based on my mood, based on my outfit, based on the occasion. Like I like to change it up, and I just enjoy wearing different things. So I really am no longer a signature scent person. But if I were going to pick a signature scent from the fragrances that I currently have in my collection, this would be it. This would be it. This would be it because I cannot get enough of this. I love it so much. I literally could wear this every day. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. So I'm sorry. You're probably going to see this. I'll try. I'll do my best to avoid having it reoccur too much in these weekly videos. But you're probably going to see this at least twice a month because it's that good. I cannot get enough of her. And so I'm going to round off the video with this. Again, that's Amorous Intense by Navitus Parfum. I will leave links to all the fragrances that I talked about today down in the description box below. Please let me know what your scent of the day is. And let me know what you're looking forward to wearing in the spring. As I'm filming this video today, it is... I do believe this is the first day of spring that I'm filming on. And I'm really curious, you know, what are you guys interested in looking forward to wearing in the spring? I know that I will definitely be wearing Amorous Intense. But I haven't given a whole lot of thought to what all else I'm looking forward to. So I probably will be doing a video on that because I'm really even curious myself to see what perfumes I'm gonna pull to the front of my collection and which ones I'm gonna push to the back. Definitely I'm gonna push Angel Nova to the back because the pepperiness of her, she's very strong, and for me personally, she's too heavy for me to wear when the temperatures warm up. Even though I love her so, I will just put her away. And you know, same thing goes for the Hedonist. I'm not going to be pulling this out in warmer temperatures. So I like the warm weather fragrances. I'm more of a fall winter scent girl, but I do appreciate a lot of the spring and summer fragrances. I definitely feel like I can keep Moscow Mule out at least through the spring. I'm not sure. She might be a little intense for summer. She's relatively new to my collection, even though I've loved her. I've played around with her in the past, but this full-size bottle is relatively new to my collection, so I don't know how she'll do in the summertime. That'll be interesting to see. But definitely, I'm going to start thinking about what fragrances I'm looking forward to wearing in spring. Please let me know what's on your list if you've already made a list. And until next time, as always, I thank you so much for watching Shaping Your World with Sha. Again, I'm Sha. Don't forget to like and hit that notification bell on your way out. Until next time.